Hi guys, it's Kim from Kim's Vintage Obsessions. I just wanted to say thank you for all the new subscribers and for everybody that watched my last video. It was pretty exciting to see that there were some people interested in it and that some people liked or subscribed or commented. Today I'm back to talk to you about depression glass knives, such as this one. I have 8 of them as of right now in total, and 3 of them have boxes, which is really cool. Love when they come with the original packaging. Some of these knives have really cool stories behind them that I'll be sharing with you. And yeah, let's get started. So first, I want to talk about the history of depression glass knives, or why they were made in the first place. I mean, you would think glass is fragile. Why would you make it into a knife? They were invented about in 1910. Before the use of widespread stainless steel knives, you would have steel knives, and if you wanted to cut something such as a lemon or a tomato or even a cake, you would it wouldn't take much to tarnish the knife, and sometimes you would leave behind a metallic taste. And so they started using glass knives so that when you would cut your citrus or your baked good, it wouldn't taste like the knife. And they advertise that you're supposed to use these on wooden or soft cutting surfaces, because if you cut on glass or stone, you'll chip the knife. Some of my knife blades are more nicked up than others. This one, it's seen a lot of love, but this one's almost perfect. And I did read online that sometimes you can get them reground to have an unnicked edge. But and it doesn't look like any of these have been reground. So yeah. This was my very first glass knife. I think I've had it for 2 years now. I believe I've had it for 2 years. And as you can see on the handle, it has a daisy with some leaves, and it also has a patent number, which means that this is one of the later knives. Some of them say patent pending, some of them say made in the USA, but this one actually has a patent number, so I could go online and look up the number and see when it was patented and what about it. This knife has the same handle pattern as this clear one right here, which comes in a Durex box. So I have 2 brands of knives. I have Vitex and Durex. There were a few others. For some reason, they kind of liked ending their glass company names with an X. I mean, we have Pyrex, Vitex, Durex, so many different ones. But this one, for example, same handle pattern, but this one says made in USA. It has a patent number, and then it also has the brand Durex on it. And the original box that it came with, I got this at an antique store in Ephrata. It has a little advertisement, glass fruit knife. It says the acids of fruits will not stain this knife. It will always be clean. So as I was saying, it goes along with the purpose of making sure that it doesn't tarnish and it doesn't flavor your food like metals. So I'll get into some of the stories behind these knives. This was my first one, got it at Old Sled Works. I just turned around and it was sitting on a shelf. And I was like, Dad, what's that? Because my dad and I would go antiquing together all the time. Shout out. He watches my videos. Hi, Dad. But yeah, we saw this, and I didn't know that depression glass knives were a thing at the time. I was collecting depression glass, but I didn't know these were a thing. And so I, did a quick Google search, and I saw it was from the 30s, and I was like, we're buying this. And yeah, this is my first one. Very special. This little guy here, this is my smallest knife. It has a cool story, too. So my dad and I, we watch this YouTuber called The Crazy Lamp Lady, and she kind of goes around and films herself antiquing and thrifting, and sometimes she'll pass up a knife, and so we'll go to that store to buy the knife. This one was in Lancaster, and at the time, I think I was in school, so my dad had his friend Tim, who also watches my videos. Hi, Tim. He drove out to Lancaster and hunted for this knife, and he found it on a shelf. It was actually moved since the video of the lamp lady took, but yeah, he found it and he got it for me. So that's another special one in my collection. And this is the darkest, like they're slightly different colors. This one's lighter pink, this one's darker pink. This was another one we got from a lamp lady video, crazy lamp lady video. This one is from a store in Adamstown. My dad and I drove out there one day and we were watching the video. My dad had a screenshot on his phone and he was looking, and we were looking for a wooden shelf with like a metal, perforated metal background, and we like went over the whole store, and at the end we finally found it and we got this knife. And we went, there's a store called Stitch in Time, which is towards the direction of Sledworks, and we went shopping the one day, antiquing, and we found these right next to each other. This guy was, well, the one came in a box. They're actually the same knife, just one with a box, one without a box. The one with a box was $10. It came like this. Very easy to slide out. Almost dropped it a few times, but it lived. And then they were like this. This guy here had a price of $10. This guy was just laying right next to it without a price tag at all. So we took it to the front of the store and we were asking how much for this knife, which didn't have a price tag. And I kid you not, as we were checking out, the dealer walks in the door to check her mail and collect her profits for the month. And they were about to call her, and she just walks in the door, and she's like, $5 for it. So we bought 2 knives that day, and a couple of the other ones I've just picked up here and there. But the most special glass knife that I have is a 1939 New York World's Fair souvenir knife. This one came from Black Swan in Palmyra, PA. It is my only blue knife. It is very, very light blue, barely blue. It has a patent pending on it, made in the USA, so it is from the 1930s. And the box that it came in, you can see the World's Fair logo right there. It says the new Vitex glass knife, always sharp, sanitary, and stainless. It has directions, use it on a soft surface, ideal for citrus, fruits, tomatoes, cakes, meringue pies, and jello. They used to cut their jello with a knife back then, a glass knife. And then the coolest part about this is it came with the original advertisement, and it has a little flyer that you can send in the mail in order to order a new knife, and it's for gentlemen. It's addressed to gentlemen. So this is for guys that want to buy their ladies a glass knife, and you enclose your money, you send it in the mail. It has an address on it, and it also has an advertisement for a glass juice extractor, which I actually have 2 of those. One is uranium glass, and we found out that citrus actually brings out the uranium in the uranium glass, so we decided to get a clear glass one to replace that. I'll show that in another video in the future. But it has the prices, so a juicer would go for 25 cents, or you could get 5 for $1. I don't know what you would do with 5 juicers, maybe give them to all your friends, but yeah, the new Vitex glass knife always stays sharp, and it has the price. They went for 59 cents each in 1939, and then it came in 3 colors, crystal, blue, and rose. I have the blue, most special one. They do make darker blue, and they make uranium glass, they make green, they make many cool colors. However, those are, I've only ever seen them on eBay. I actually tried bidding on one that was a really cool shade of like an aqua, and I lost. But for now, I have mostly clear knives, but I have my 2 pink ones, my light blue one, and my orange one. So I was really excited to find one that was not only a glass knife, but it had the history of the World's Fair. I wish they still had World's Fairs, or well, I mean they do, but the US doesn't participate anymore. I wish they did. I think that's really cool that all the inventors would get together and show what's been going on. You just go and you experience technology at its finest. So I have, I believe, 4 or 5 different handle patterns. This one, the one from Tim, has like a star shape, And I have two that have the daisy. This one's my favorite pattern. It's just very feminine, very pretty. And then there's this daisy pattern. This is from Durex. I read online when I was doing research that the Durex molds, this was, I believe, the first manufacturer of glass knives. You can see they were kind of like this, and you cut them right down the middle. You can see the rough edge where it was cut. He was, I believe, the first one, and he made so many that his molds wore out, and that's how you get different handle shapes, is because so many of these 3 daisies were sold that he needed to make new molds, and so that's how you end up with different handles. I have two that have this star and diamond pattern, one in clear, one in orange. So this is one of the most exciting things I think I collect. I've talked to several different people who collect knives. I'm like, have you ever heard of a glass knife? And of course they haven't, so I like to show them my collection. I nerd out a little bit, but nothing wrong with that. I actually do try and use these whenever I have people over. I like to host tea parties so I can bring out all my glassware when my girlfriends come over. But I do like to use these. I'll make a carrot cake or something, and it just cuts really nicely straight through the cake and serve it. Cool thing is I have cake plates that are the same shade of pink, so everything matches. So that's the history behind my glass knife collection. I want to thank you guys for joining me today to learn a little bit about these cool artifacts. I'm still continuing to look for them. One of my favorite things to look for, a lot of times you just kind of say a prayer, hope you find what you find. You walk into the store and you're ready to leave and you just turn around and there's one sitting right there. And so I'm like, okay, I guess the Lord wanted me to buy this today. So I get it and I bring it home, and I'm so excited for when I can use these in the future. So yeah, thank you guys for joining me. This is Kim from Kim's Vintage Obsessions, and I look forward to hopefully posting another video next week. If you know anything that, or can add any information to what I said, please let me know in the comments. I always love to learn about new stuff, so any insight would be very appreciated. Alright, thank you, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye!